have right here, so it's been good.
Speaking of Travis, what's it been like for him? I know he came in, he lost a little bit of weight, and what's he look like to you?
Oh man, Travis to me has a renewed sense of urgency. I think that Travis is such a good young man that he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. He doesn't want to step on anybody's toes. And I think that for the most part he kind of just played the background. He let Adam Choice be the leader of the group, and then when Taven was here, he was gonna let Taven assert that role. But now that Taven's gone, I mean, he's really embraced his role as a leader, and just the way he's come in every single day, I've just seen a renewed sense of urgency and a more consistency in his mindset that every day is and he says it this way, he says today's a good day to have a great day, where it used to be, well, Travis, what kind of day are we going to have, Travis? And some days it'd be a coach, it's going to be a good day. Some days it'd be a great day, but now every day he wants to come in with a mindset of really taking advantage of his opportunity, and he's really embracing the fact that he's a role model to these young backs, and Travis is the kind of guy, he doesn't like the spotlight, he doesn't like the limelight, he doesn't like all the stuff that comes with his success. But now I think he's really embracing it and understands the responsibility, and he's responding the right way.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how is he handling all the Heisman talk and all that stuff?
We don't have that conversation because we understand in our room that it's not about anyone, it's about the position, and there's a standard, and he understands too that it's right now is talking season. Right? We're not worried about what people are saying right now. If he wants to be in that conversation, then he better go perform, throughout prime time and the championship phase of our season if he really wants to be in that conversation.
Coach Sweeney was talking about those freshman backs, their ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. Both have good hands. Would you say both are further than maybe Travis and Lindsay were as freshmen in that regard?
Lindsay catches the ball very well, so I'd say they're very comparable to Lindsay. Like I said, I think Mikey's got the most natural ball skills of any guy that I've had, including Ellington. It's just easy for him. You can see it. And Chez is very natural too, but you can tell Chez probably hasn't had as much experience catching the ball because of the style of play with his high school offense. But both of those guys are definitely ahead of Travis. I think we all know they're ahead of Travis, and that's something else that Travis has really embraced. Is if he's going to be what he's capable of at the next level, or what he wants to be at the next level, he's got to become a quote-unquote third down type of guy from a pass protection standpoint, and then also from a pass receiving standpoint.
Well, Mikey, you mentioned very high praise for him as far as pass catching. Is that something you saw coming in that you saw on film? And how would you describe the way?
And Mikey, and what really sold me on Mikey is watching him play basketball. Obviously coming from where he came from, and I told him honestly in the recruiting process, dude, you got to help me because it's hard to evaluate, because you may not be, on the same playing field as some of the other guys because of the level of competition. But I always knew, and I had him in camp since he was in 8th grade, so I've always seen the ball skills. And you watch him play basketball, you see how athletic he is and how he can play above the rim. So you knew all those skills were there. The biggest thing that's really impressed me with Mikey is his toughness. And I got a glimpse of that really watching him play basketball when he was matched up against Josiah that went to Tennessee. And I mean, he's out. He's what, Josiah's 6'6", Mikey's 5'11" at best. And he just battled him. And so I've been really impressed with his toughness and his willingness to put his face in the fan. Both him and Chez have a willingness to pass protect. They understand the importance. They just got to get work on their technique.
From a play calling standpoint, how excited are you to get a hold of this offense and call plays for all these guys?
That sounds, on paper and on the outside it sounds easy, but really the biggest thing is figuring out, okay, what's the identity of this group? Obviously we knew who we were last year, but we have to come out here through the course of the preparation process before the first game to figure out who we are. We feel like we got a lot of pieces, and now we just got to figure out what that chemistry is. So I'm excited to figure out what that chemistry is, and so far, man, there's been a lot of competition, and feel really good about the depth of all the positions.
What's your take on center right now? I know you exited spring, I think, saying that still sort of.
Yeah, Pollard, you could tell Pollard really wanted to. Matter of fact, I got to pick on him a little bit. I told him, I said, you waited till Dexter left before you moved to center, huh? So you wouldn't have to block him one-on-one. But no, he's really embraced that role. And if you know Sean, Sean's the type of young man, he wants to know the big picture. He takes pride in his performance. He wants to, and he felt like that's probably where he could give us the greatest value. And I tell you what, it's really played off. And he's probably got majority of the snaps. Gage will roll in there a little bit, but Sean has really come into camp with the right mindset, directing traffic. Man, he's engaged in everything that we're doing. He wants to understand, all the challenges that we're facing on the practice field, what the right answers are. So I've been really impressed with his performance. And then, we've been challenged out here on the practice field, and he's been matched up one-on-one a lot on the island, and he's done a really good job thus far.
How far has Jordan McFadden come compared to where he was last year?
Man, Jordan McFadden, light years. Light years. You can just see. Jordan's a guy. Not many guys have the ability he has. I mean, he can just move people. He's not the biggest guy, but man, he just has leverage and strength and explosiveness. He can move people, but that's only if he's playing fast. And that's what you're seeing. He's playing fast because it's slowed down for him. He understands, what he's doing. And spring ball is a little bit different because he was on scout team all last year, and so spring ball was really the first time he really heard it. So now this is the second time that he's really heard it. So things have slowed down for him. He's been in Ankrum and John Simpson's hip pocket. Every time you see those two, you see Jordan right with him. So you can tell that they're doing a great job of mentoring him, which has resulted in him being able to play fast and really let his skills, come to light.
Are you starting to get an idea not only of running back, but of the freshmen that will be ready to help you this year?
We won't know until. We won't know until we cut them loose tomorrow. Everything has been controlled right now. Tomorrow's going to be, flat out scrimmage. We're going to get off the field. We're going to work the mechanics of our communication process and let those guys play. So I wouldn't feel comfortable until I see those guys in a live situation in the stadium with the coaches off the field.
What are you most looking forward to tomorrow?
Just to see that when they're in the stadium, that they can bring the same intensity, the same focus, and the same passion that they've had, the first several days of practice. Obviously, as a coach, I mean, you want perfection. I really understand that there's so much installed in right now. We've only had a couple days. Things are piling up. You're in those kind of dog days of camp now where the body's hurting. So I just want to see these guys, give the best effort they can to focus, and hopefully that'll result in some clean execution and we can get a good evaluation.
When you look at a guy like Gage Sabrinka and the guy who's on the other side, comes back and now has worked his way up, how does that help with everybody on your unit that they see a guy like that who's worked himself into a position that he has as a starter?
Well, I think it's just a testament to this program. That we're going to do what we feel is best for you, in your future and give you an opportunity. And if you put in the work, good things, you'll be rewarded. Good things will happen. So I'm just extremely excited for him, and now he's in a position where he's a leader of our team, one of the seniors. He's really embracing that role, and I think he's also, helps us from a toughness standpoint, he's been on that side of the ball, so he understands, what it takes and the mindset that you got to have, to be an offensive lineman.
Brings a little nastiness, I guess.
A little bit.
What have you seen from the freshman offensive linemen so far?
Rayburn, I'm excited about his future. I think he's really dialed in at center right now. You can tell that he gets it. Very athletic. Putnam's just a mauler, man. He loves it. Now he's a lot like Gage, man. He has that mentality. He's nasty. Things are still moving fast, and Caleb's better. He's improved from the spring. Things are still moving a little bit fast. Got him playing a little bit of tackle at times. Trying to figure out where the right spot for it is for him. So I'd probably say it's probably moving the fastest for him. But I like where Rayburn is. I like where Putnam is. And Caleb, I'm encouraged that we're going to get him where he needs to be.
What about the pieces that you got it tied in now? With the addition of Lay, looks like Lay's getting a little bit more step time.
I tell you what, coming out of spring, we were like, man, Jalen Lay, we were expecting one thing and didn't quite see what we thought. And then you step away and you realize, well, he's playing the tight end position. He's the formation adjuster. He's the run game fitter. He's got to run all the pass routes. And there's a guy that essentially played wide out, and now he's having to be in every aspect of the offense. And so, maybe the expectation was a little bit, unrealistic for a guy coming in the door. But I tell you what, he's put in work, and you're seeing him now. You're seeing that natural skill set. He's catching the ball well. He's moving well. He's fighting. He's tough. You're starting to see those things because the game's a little bit slower because he's worked with Garrett over the summer. He's had J.C. Chalk, in his ear, and so he's just a lot more confident. So you're seeing that, and he's a guy that hopefully get back on the field and get back to working. But I'm encouraged where he is, and I tell you what, J.C. Chalk, in my opinion, looks like a different person. You can tell that he's really embracing his role in that room as a leader, and then also he's embracing his opportunity. Davis Allen, a little bit disappointed that he went down right before start of camp because based on the early reports, everything was really, really encouraging and positive on him. And we hopefully we'll get him back here the next week or so, see where he's at. And I tell you, Luke Price is another one of those nasty, tough guys that'll give us some flexibility and some different personnel groupings there. And so I'm actually encouraged, coming out of it with where those guys are in the progress, and we just got to keep pushing it.
Does play calling change when you got DeAndre in the slot at 6'4" as opposed to
we're still trying to figure that out. We really haven't gotten into the specifics of game planning yet. We're really just trying to get the offense installed. But I tell you what, if I had to say the guy that stood out the most to me, just all around would be DeAndre, man. Just his confidence level, his performance, the plays that he's making, the catches, his understanding, his flexibility, going from the slot to the boundary, out there to the field. So I've been really, really pleased and really, really excited for him. But won't know until we get into the game planning to see. Obviously, we know Renfro was a big, big part of our third down package. And then obviously right now with Amari out, we're trying to figure out who that guy is that's similar to Renfro in the skill set and the matchup advantages, but we won't know until we get close to the game.
How Frank and Joe?
Been doing good. They've been doing good. They just picked up where they left off, man. Sometimes two big guys that can run. Golly. I got some white out in my back. And I come out and I look at those guys. I'm like, golly, look at these dudes. We thought we were big back in the day when you had Youngblood, Derek Hamilton, but every one of them 6'5". But no, those two guys, man, they're fantastic. They got great work ethic, great work habits. They don't say anything. They just go.
Speaking of a replacement for Renfro, 13, Spector, what has he done this summer?
Oh, I tell you what, Spector was challenged, moved him from being out in the field into the boundary, and man, he's really responded. And it's kind of like I compare it to remember how when Mitch came in here and he came in, he had to go against Shaq Lawson and Kevin Dodd and those guys. Well, he's going against Booth. And I haven't seen many freshman corners come in the door like Booth. And so, man, he's getting challenged every single day into the boundary because they're both, running with the groups that they're running with, and they're matched up all the time. But I tell you what, he's playing fast, he's competing, and now you're starting to see the game slow down for him too. So I'm really encouraged with where Spector is as well.
What is it about Booth that's so different?
He's got a good confidence about him, not cocky at all, but a really, really good confidence about him. And you can tell, man, he's a football player, very instinctual, smart. You can tell that he's a master of his craft. At a young age, he's a craftsman, and that's what makes him special. And then obviously he's long, he has all the athleticism, but you can tell mentally, he's in a different ballpark.